happens is when we are editing our content, it doesn't do anything. Because when I was still living at the house and Michael would call me, he would say, "Why are you ignoring me?" And I'm like, editing content.
Oh, there you go. No, I actually am editing content a lot, though. I feel like it's the well, TikTok has a bunch of good tools.
Yeah, it does.
My gosh, it's like doesn't have everything, but compared to like, I don't know how to. All right, here we go. Participants, invite. Are you ready? I can give you a meeting passcode. You ready?
Join.
Yeah, here we go. 519 541.
That's a short one. Are you sure?
Yeah, so I can email. It says I can copy an invite link or a copy invitation, but I think if you just type in the meeting passcode, it goes through. I think.
Okay, do that again.
There we go. Let me pull it up.
A meeting ID or a pairing code?
Oh, it's a meeting passcode. So I think that's different from both the things you just said. Speaking of my mic. Let me do this. I'll copy an invite link and I'll send it out via, here we go, Gmail. What is your email? I'll send this right now.
Send it to Tina.
Okay.
At tina.overfelt.com.
tina.overfelt.com.
No,
Tina at Tina. Okay, there we go. Oh, you're good. You got your own website? I gotta get one of these. I'm trying to set up BRADYFLANDERS.com. All right, that just went through. But I think it'd be sick. Instead of having why am I giving Gmail all this free publicity? I should have Brady at BRADYFLANDERS.com, you know?
Yeah. If you want me to help you with that, let me know.
Please. No, actually, that's good. We can talk about it. I reached out to Brian Bogert and a couple people. I'm like, who made your website? But I'm still I haven't checked out your website, but if it's solid, man, I just need something for now, you know?
Dude, I used to help my business customers set up their whole business. Like, I used to set up just people that were on the streets, and I'd say, you need a sole proprietorship.
Hell yeah.
Let's get rocking and rolling. And I would set it up at my branch so that they could start benefiting from tax, so they could start writing some shit off.
All the benefits. Yeah.
All
right. So did that email come through?
It did.
Oh, so beautiful. And then I don't know, it might ask you for a meeting passcode. I think some people say they need a meeting passcode after. So that's that 519 thing I said.
I don't think so.
You might not.
I just clicked on the link and it's doing the same thing that it does when I join ours with Brad.
There you go.
Oh, shit. You know what? It is going to ask me. What's that?
All these regulations and red tape, huh? This is just big zoom shitting on the little guy, huh? All right, here we go. It's 519 541.
I wonder. Oh wait. 519.
Because I feel like I've had people say that. They're like, "Oh, I need the passcode."
You know what? I wonder. Oh wait, tell me that again.
Here we go. 519 541.
That's what I did.
Now work.
There we go.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Boom. Let me add. There we go. There you are. Look at that.
All right, I better hang up.
There you go. Wait, can you hear me? I got my volume. Let's go. I got you.
I need to make it so that you can see me, though, right?
Yeah, you just hit start video, I think.
Yeah. I just have to change my thingamabob here. Just one sec.
You're good.
I need to change my settings so I can see the bottom. Oh, jeez. I thought we were just already there. There we go.
There we go. And I have the free zoom because I kind of like it. I like the idea of it booting me off in 40 minutes. It's like, all right, I got 40 minutes to do some chit chatting, you know, none of these 3-hour podcasts. It'll be, if the guest is real good, we'll have them on again. That's my saying, you know. It's a quote by me. Oh, hey. Oh, I keep forgetting you're in a different time zone. Yeah, it's 10. It's pitch black.
Did you see that vein popping out of my brain? It was like I was really thinking.
Yeah, every girl I've ever dated, it seems like they always have that vein going right down
Oh,
broad.
I think that just means I'm in shape.
There you go. No, that's good. I'm getting more
I
vascular
like
too. I've lost a good like 4. You've lost some weight, you said, right? I saw that picture you put in the group chat in the Discord today. What was that, from a couple years ago?
Oh, with me in the tub? I
Yeah,
mean, the sink?
it was like a pineapple drink. You mentioned like a pineapple drink or something.
Yeah.
That was
Dude, I
wild.
lost like 30 pounds.
Go off. Fantastic. I lost like I don't mean to sound like, now I'm gonna say it. I feel like
How
I'm
much did you lose?
one-upping, but I lost about 45, and I went from about 230 to about $185, and now I'm at like
Dude,
one.
I don't believe it until I see a picture. I want to see a picture.
Oh, I got one on my phone here. Yeah, this is why it's funny. I had one of the girls I used to work with at Cutco. She's like 19, so she still uses Snapchat, but she sent me like a Snapchat memory. Look at this. This is from, I don't know when, 2020, so about 3 years ago. This is me, and look at the long hair. You can see the belly gut, the beer gut. I got my tits out. I'm drinking a White Claw. I've got like freaking scabies on my leg or something. Like, this was not a very good version of myself, but
And what were you doing that day?
I don't know. I bought I don't know, I was drinking, clearly. I think that was just a hangout day. I was just hanging out with some friends. But yeah, in that picture I was probably about 230. And at 6'1", thankfully it kind of spreads out on the frame, but
Yeah.
it's a lot nicer being in shape. The veins start to pop a little bit. It's good. You got to put the work in. It's worth it. I found.
So, and then you eat lots of protein.
My God, the amount of protein I consume on a daily basis is obscene, disgusting. I don't know. I shoot for every day. I'll typically have, if I'm out of the house, off the boat, it's every day. It's 1 pound of meat every day, whether that's bison or turkey or beef or whatever. But most days it's 2 pounds, and that's 200 grams right there. And I'll usually have like a lean body or a shake in the morning. I'm probably hovering at like 250, 300 grams of protein a day. Like it's a lot.
I need to increase my protein.
Oh yeah.
Because I went on a no meat.
Oh.
I wanted to prove I could give something up for a year, and I chose meat.
Meat's good though. It's not like cigarettes.
I know, but I was thinking that I could keep my weight. This is crazy. Yeah. I was thinner prior to that picture in the sink. Okay.
Oh wow.
I had lost weight prior to that at one point by doing lean protein, low carb, high protein. Okay. And moderate to only drinking like in social settings, maybe just a couple drinks. Okay. Not drinking like I was at that point. Well, when we moved to Wyoming, we were around a lot of meat, and I had a little PTSD after we did a cow. What do you call those when you do a cow drive?
Like a
cattle drive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The cattle drive, where you have to get all of the cows in the cattle together.
Yeah.
Okay. And I saw those cows up close and personal, and it jacked with my brain. If you saw them up close and personal, the shiz I saw, Brady, you'd be like, I'm not sure I want to eat that. Yeah. That's what messed.
I was talking to a guy on Instagram the other day, and he was telling, because I posted like a little poll. I'm like, beef or venison, right? Venison's really good too. I like venison a lot. But he sent me this whole like essay about like, oh, here's the benefits of beef versus venison and this, that. Like he was like a beef expert. I was like, this is kind of cool. But I had no idea. He's like, yeah, that pound of beef that you're eating, it probably came from like, it's not from one cow. It's like that McDonald's burger is like a conglomerate of cows. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't want to really go in the backyard and put down a cow myself, but I will eat it. I will say that. It's good protein. I need the protein.
I know. That's why I'm eating protein, but I I need to increase it. I get most of my protein from eggs, egg whites.
Oh my God. Yeah. An egg. Oh, now
And
you're
cheese.
speaking my language. Yeah. Like some bell peppers, some spinach, little omelet action. That's a good breakfast right there with one whole egg in it. So you
Yeah.
get a little bit of the yellow. That's good.
Yeah, that makes it really good. It flips well.
There we go. Oh, what kind of podcast? Oh, by the way, I'm Tina, as you know, I'm not just an influencer. I'm an influencer for influencers. Many have said, So I'm one of the greatest podcasts. So I'm changing the game. All right, I'm changing the game. This is not a podcast. It's a dog cast. All right, we're changing it up. But
I love it.
what kind of dog cast am I if I don't introduce our guest? These aren't even real papers. This is just paper I pulled from behind me. tina.kelly.overfelt. It's a lot of words. Now, what made you choose? A lot of people go, I could go Brady Joseph Flanders, but like, what made you go with the middle name or 3 names versus 2? What was the thought process there?
Well, before I got married, I was just Tina Parker.
Oh.
That's my maiden name. And in my first marriage, it was Gatehouse.
We're at like 5 names now. There's a lot of names. We got like 3 more in the chamber.
I know, but I got rid of the Gatehouse.
Yeah.
Last name. And then when I realized after I married Mike, I realized that my initials is TKO. I was like, oh, dude, I think I need to start using my middle name.
Hell yeah. Plus TKO is that's like a boxing term. That's badass,
Yeah. Because I'm that way, sometimes I'm a little spicy. I can be a little hard.
A little caliente,
Yeah, but other times I'm sweet, I have a soft side. I'm an empath. I'm compassionate. I love on people, so there's 2 sides to me. You'd have to put the boxing gloves with a big heart as a logo.
I could see you working for like you. I think you've got some experience in car dealerships. I think you were mentioning. I could see you wearing like because all the local dealerships in upstate New York, they always did like the boxing event. Like, we're gonna knock out the competitors' prices. I could see you wearing that, but then you could be like TKO, like you could brand the hell out of that.
Can you help me?
Yeah.
That's been my whole thing. Why I haven't done anything with it, because I'm like, I get stumped.
Or you knock out the competitor and then you're doing the gloves. You're like, TK, and the guy comes over and lifts your glove. TKO. It's like, then you point to the camera. I can see the commercial right now. And then it brands you. It's your name. Like, that's I'll send the invoice in the mail for my consulting fee. All right.
I love that.
Good idea.
Brady, I needed to talk to you.
There you go. Oh, we're doing a fire dog cast, so this is where the real quality. That's a clip, right? We'll clip that. That's a clip. I can smell a clip from a mile away. That was a good clip. That's good. So I like that. That's good. So 3 names, and Wyoming. You're talking about Virginia, and you're in Vegas right now. I think. I mean, you're all over the place, Tina.
I know, because my husband and I are in a separation. I don't know if we're calling it a separation. We didn't say it's a separation. We realized I'm 50, he's almost 50, and something was off. And so we are evolving. We figured out that we're evolving. So we just decided that we would take a break from each other. And if we have sex with other people while we're during that time, then we'll know our answer.
There you go.
And he's building a business in New Jersey. I'm, dealership group, and I'm building business and brand. And so I can build business on the road anywhere. So I'm just kind of doing that. And he was like, just pack up your clothes. I was like, okay. Well, I kind of I shouldn't use that word. I look forward to settling somewhere for a few months, because I don't prefer to live in my Jeep.
Wait, so right now, like because I lived out of my van for like 7 months. I did van life. Like you're truly living off the road right now?
Yeah, like I'm like a, what do you
Oh,
call that person?
like a nomad.
I'm
Yeah.
a nomad. I'm a
Yeah.
nomad.
You're a digital nomad. You're doing like content creation. Wait. So but I see you all the time. You're always like working out and you do like the lives from the house, or are those Airbnbs or?
That was well, that was a extended stay. And I
Oh,
had the whole setup. I had a table in there and I had the whole setup. When the maids would come, they're like, I had the microphone all set up. I had everything all set up. They're like, who is this woman and what does she do? I went inside the place. I didn't have a videographer there. And I was like, can I borrow your employee to come with me outside to take pictures of me? I'm like, it's just going to take like 5 or 10 minutes. And the guy's like, the woman's like, yeah, sure. And the guy's like, and she's like, I go 5 minutes. I mean, I won't keep her. And he's like, okay.
hell, she was probably fired up. She's, cleaning up friggin', all sorts of stains and all sorts of nasty stuff.
Well,
She's taking
it was at
pictures.
the reception desk, where they're checking people in. But I was just like, it's just going to be for a minute. And I know I don't want to take you from your job, but
I
I
think that
go, don't worry about getting too crazy. I can edit. I can,
you're gonna make you're
I
gonna
can
make
change
her,
the
you're gonna make her
background.
edit too. You're gonna make her do your.
No, I said I can edit.
No, there you go. I think that's the difference between men and women, and I think we just boil it down. I could never. I think if you, I could never see myself walking up to anyone and being like, I need you to take pictures right now. It's like I feel goofy like doing the selfies, like making like recording for like stories and stuff, but like it's one of those things where you kind of have to. But man, oh man, I just that's a stark contrast between the genders. I think is women have just a lot of comfortability with photos and like photo shoots, and I'm like I have to force myself to do it,
I know. Well, I told you how I'm weaning myself, or I mentioned in the group how I'm weaning myself off
Yeah.
an antidepressant.
Oh.
And I'm very open. And the reason I share these things is because it's life. And I feel like I didn't know if I would share this, but I'm thinking, you know what, Tina, there could be a lot of people that's going through the same thing. And I haven't always taken it. It's only been since I became an empty nester and when I gained all that weight, and then I just was like in a funk. It was a weird place. And I lost weight and I was doing great in my business, but I was still like, I feel lost. Like I was in a funk. I was crying a lot. And I was like, I don't want to cry at the just little things. I don't want to cry. I want to kick ass and take names.
Hell yeah.
And so then I just realized in this group, I had an epiphany being in Scottsdale. I'm like, it's like
Can
I
you
have this
elaborate
other,
about what group are you talking about? An Andy Elliott group? I saw you in. I saw some video.
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Gotcha.
So when I was at the Andy Elliott group and I'm listening to Andy Elliott, and I even had it like a week, I kind of had hit and miss thoughts about it, but I've noticed that I have thinking about the old me, and I'm like, I have this other gear where I'm more assertive and I'm more talkative and more outgoing. And like I went to a mall one time and walked up to complete strangers and asked them if they'd buy products from me.
Hell yeah.
I asked them if they, first of all, I asked them if they currently use this particular product. And they said yes. And I said, what kind do you use? I said, well, that one's not, the best for you. What if I said I had something? I don't know. I just talked to them and I actually sold my stuff. I sold some in the mall, but it was like a way to get out of your comfort zone. And my daughter was like, you are freaking crazy. But I wanted to show her too that I could do things that most people wouldn't do.
I love
But
that.
my point is that I have another gear, and I felt like every time I was almost to kick into that gear, something would just settle me. And it was like, good. I was just fine. I was okay if I didn't go into that gear. but then the next day or later that night, I'm just like disappointed in myself. Like I'm not doing the things that I know I wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Like I know who I am and why am I, and so I'm like, I'm linking it to that. So my whole thing, that's why I'm weaning myself off of it.
No, that's good. I mean, I by the way, you can be as vulnerable and embarrassing as you'd like on this show, Tina, because plot twist, 16 people are going to watch this. All right. So this is not a nationally syndicated Dawgcast yet. All right. So that's the good news.
Dude, it's by the time it will, I mean, over time, people are going to start seeing it.
They will.
We get the right hashtags and keywords in there, and
got to keep pumping the well, you know. No, but
yeah.
I can relate with what you just said though in a big way. For years I struggled with I don't know if complacent. I think complacency is the right word. It's like I already have a little bit of money in the bank. I'm doing well. I've got this stuff. It's like, do I really need to shoot for the moon? For the, you know, it's like, do I need to go all out, balls out? And, you know, and I had a very different mindset back then. So it's different now, which, you know, as you age and as you progress, things change. But I can totally relate with you know, with what you just said. But how long have you been, you know, in like the personal development world? Because you were in the Brad Lee group well before I got there, to my knowledge, and you're doing stuff with Andy and you're traveling. Like when did you really get like serious about your self growth?
2016.
Okay.
So I had a friend that I was going to the gym and I was lifting, and I was starting to meet people in the lifting area. Mm-hmm. And I had a good friend that he also worked for me in the transport business. He was one of the truck drivers, but he was also in the car business prior. He worked for my husband at the car dealership, and he's just well known in the car industry. He died early and he got cancer, and very unexpected. He lived for 30 days from the time. No, I take that back. I found out that he got cancer in like June or July, and he died October 5th. And when he died, how fast he transitioned from the time he told me he had it to when he died, I was just like, it was just crazy to see him. Like I lost it when I saw him. But anyway, long story short, I got involved with this health company, and I wanted to start learning more about the body and health. And when I did that, I met people that were in personal development. Gotcha. And I had never heard things like that before, like the way that they were talking, mindset stuff. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I've never heard these things. And some of the things I was already doing by accident. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was getting lucky by accident. I don't know. I just was an optimistic person. I wasn't a negative person. I believe that's how I got as far as I did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Considering my childhood, a lot of people said, Tina, most people would not have gotten as far as you have, considering your background. So you've done a great job. But I know when you know you're capable of more, it's like, why are you stopping? You know what I mean? When you can help more people and make a bigger impact, why would you stop? Plus, I'm passionate about it.
It's a wild concept though to think about for me, because my background, we'll go into your background next. That's a great lead in. See, I got expert interviewing chops, Tina. I'm a couple moves ahead. Oh yeah, you see this lighting? Look at this professional background, I'm killing it. Yes, I got this mic too. I got to speak into the mic. You know, it's not on or attached to anything, but like you see, you know. I think you're supposed to have a mic for podcasts. That's what I've been told.
Well, I was going to have mine actually, and I left it in the Jeep. And I was like, well,
my original plan for the podcast was I was going to FaceTime someone and then record the FaceTime interview on my phone on my computer and then have the microphone. It was just a clusterfuck of it, just terrible. So this is
I thought of things.
And then Zoom, I'm like, all right, Zoom is a tool. I'll utilize this. But anyways, so your background though. So I mean, share whatever
No,
you're
share your part. I want to hear more about you.
I lost my we were talking about personal development. So yeah, it's a wild concept to me. And that's why I'm so passionate about, content creation and this just promoting the good message, because like it's what you said, you'd never heard people talking like that before, right? It's almost kind of sort of culty in a sense, and a little bit. But for me, I come from a direct sales background. I started working with a company when I was 18 out of high school. And, in direct sales and in that type of industry, it's in health, and it's very common. Like people are trying to lift each other up because everyone's working independently. It's not like it's corporate America. Everyone's trying to cut each other's throat. So, but I was so lucky, so grateful to be exposed to that messaging at 18. You know what I mean? Like you were talking about in 2016, that would have put you at what? 40?
I was in my
40s.
Yeah.
You're in your 40s.
Yeah.
And it's the first time you're hearing about mindset and gratitude. It's like, I am so passionate about putting out this message because like, I want to fucking expose people to the good. Now I sound like I'm a cult leader. I want to expose people to the good word, right? No, but it's important to me. It really is. Because the moment that I went to my first summer conference at 18, and granted they were talking about sales tactics and like getting better at business, but like there were messages interwoven into those sales messages, right? And people are positive, and people are doing the friggin' conga line around the room and high-fiving each other, and everyone's clapping. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, I was just working at a country club as a busser, and I wanted to kill everyone that worked there every day. Like this, I hated it. I'd only been exposed to like hourly jobs and like 9-to-5 mindset up to that point. So, man, I remember it felt so foreign. It felt really weird, felt really uncomfortable at first, but I kind of leaned into it. And I'm like, I kind of like this. This is different. This is unique. And I haven't gone back since. I mean, I've wavered. We all have our ups and downs, but like, like just the self-help world, the personal development world, it means a lot to me. So
yeah, that's how I feel about it. It's changed my life. I know that a lot of my friends, I'm in my 40s, and then all of a sudden I start going live on Facebook, and they're like, what the hell is she doing? Who is she? Has she been like, has someone taken over her?
Yeah. Well, hey, I
you know
think
what I'm saying?
like number 45 or something, because every time you go live, I get a little notification, and it's like I think 40. You're on 40 something for consecutive lives. I mean, you're putting in the damn work. I love it. That's awesome. And
I started going live when I look back at my lives back in 2016, that was funny.
Yeah.
It was. I was like, hi. No, it was just funny. But I have a question for you.
Sure.
So what is your personal life like? Like, you're dating, what kind of woman do you like? And
yeah, I think I got to work on that law of attraction thing, because I keep attracting medical estheticians that
like Botox girls?
Who isn't a Botox girl nowadays, I feel like. But no, I'm saying, I don't know. I have in terms of that, that's kind of you want to niche it down a little. That's a very loaded question.
Well, I'm wondering what kind, I don't know. I'm just curious, like, your type, and not for me, but just like, it's an opportunity for you to share. People want to know these things, Brady.
Authenticity. I am
curious. I mean, because I know that you're in your yacht by yourself.
Yeah. And my dog, and Bella.
And it's just so you just wonder, like, and
that's fair.
Then also I'm thinking, like, what are your, I think it's important to like have where you draw the line, like, these are my deal breakers.
Yeah.
Just so that you can cut shit. You can just cut it real quick. You know what I'm saying? So you're not wasting your time or her time.
100%. Well, it's funny as I've gotten older, and I don't. It's funny saying that out loud. As I've gotten older at 26, but I mean, there has been a real life progression from like late teens to where I'm at now. Like back in the day, I would just put up with shit. Like I didn't really have standards or
Yeah, I didn't
how I
either.
wanted to be, how I wanted to be treated, and all that stuff. But like now, it's one of those things where I have so much confidence in myself that the second one of those lines gets crossed, the second some bullshit comes up, the second where it's too much of a headache, that's with the headache versus the reward, right? As soon as that threshold gets crossed, it's like I'm totally okay
What's
with,
the bullshit though?
I don't know, just like
What
just causing unnecessary strife,
like what? Like what? When she calls you or texts you and says, "Why didn't you call me?" I mean, what does that look like? I'm not
shit, well,
saying
shit,
that's
yeah,
it.
small shit like that, just like what do they call it? In the red pill world, they call it I think they call it shit testing, right? It's just,
Oh, educate me. I don't know about that.
well, like kind of like what you just said right there, like just kind of trying to create a problem out of nowhere. Which, to be fair, I think if I'm expecting women to not do that, I'm probably going to be on a real lonesome road. That seems to be a common denominator. But no, I mean, just like
Well, okay, let me say this because I could be put in that same boat. Because men, I just have to share this, and then sometimes you guys don't communicate.
that's fair.
And so our mind, and we shouldn't assume anything. I know the law, but we do. Let's
We're
just be
we're we're,
real.
we're pretty simple creatures at the end of the
I
day.
know everyone says that,
But like when
but
someone's like, you don't communicate
we're
enough,
kind
it's
of
like,
we complicate things. But
really?
this is good to hear this from you because help
No, yeah.
help all the ladies. Let's help all the ladies out.
I don't know. No, I mean, some of the traits that I look for in someone that's like admirable to me, because I'm at the point now where it's like the skin deep stuff just doesn't really tickle me anymore. It's like someone can be attractive, but if they've just got, the brain of the size of a walnut, and they just don't have any personality, they don't have any flavor, they don't have any hobbies, like I can't work with that at this point in my life. Someone's got to have a little bit of depth. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's super important. Authenticity is a real big thing with me. I can tell when someone's faking it, when someone's, I can just, you can feel it, right? So, and by the
Yeah,
way, that goes with any gender. Like if someone's in my circle, right? They need to be real. They need to be authentic.
yeah, I
Um,
feel the same way.
but someone who just introduces unnecessary drama, someone who introduces unnecessary shit, um, to my, I'm looking for someone who can complement my life, not complicate my life, right? So, if someone wants to, but it's one of those things where it's like, again, I'm not, I'm on a mission. I've got a very clear trajectory of where I want to go and what I want to do. And if someone wants to come along for that, come along with me on that ride, that's great. That's awesome. But I'm not deviating for now. Back in the day, I would have for sure, but I'm
Yeah,
not deviating from the plan at this point.
that's
For
good that you need, yeah, just hold that line because I think that's great. And it's good at your age to know what you want. I think it's so awesome that you are in this group with real coaching.
Yeah, I love it.
How many people at 26 are where you are? There's not very many.
Well, I have to walk that line of, realistically at my age, I've got a very, very, very healthy amount of experience compared to the masses. But if you compare yourself to the masses, I think that's a losing game. Because like it's like comparing yourself to the average American, right? That might sound cool on paper, but the average American is fat as shit, dumb as hell, has no money in the bank, has no direction. They're working a job where they're the company's paying them just enough so they don't quit, right? But they're working just hard enough to where they don't get fired. Like it's just a hellscape to me.
They're just like, I'll just let me get through the day.
Oh my God. Yeah. And they go home and they just numb themselves with whatever substances, floats their boat. And they just watch reality TV and talk about people. I
Yeah.
like to say, I think Eleanor Roosevelt said like small minds discuss people average minds discuss events, and, you know, big brains or whatever, they discuss ideas. And, you know, for me, it's like, if I compare myself to the average 26-year-old, sure, I'm up there, right? But I can't really, you know, I'm not going to compare myself to the masses. So I'm happy where I'm at. I can't change the past. I can control what I can control. And I just have to stay on this path that I'm on, is the way I kind of look at it. So, but
I think that's awesome.
yeah. So that's
Where do you go to meet? Where do you go to meet people?
Well, the thing is, and I've kind of been struggling with that. Like, I've got a really, really good network of folks that support me, and I support them, and I like them, and, you know, it's a good relationship, but they live in Vegas, and they live in Phoenix, and they live in California. You know, I have a tendency to struggle with in-person connections, just because it's, I don't know. That's a tough question, because it's one of those things where it's like, I struggle with the idea of being social to be social, but also influence is super important to me. It's like, I don't want to just introduce 7, 8 new people into my life just for the sake of having 7 to 8 new people to talk to, because, like, proximity is power. Like, who you surround yourself with matters, you know? So I struggle with, who do I allow into my circle? But
Same way.
you know, you know, you don't want to totally isolate yourself. So it's a good mix. I've got a couple buddies down here in South Florida that I like and I spend time with. But I'm a little bit different from your average cat. You know what I mean?
I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll interact with folks on social media and all that stuff, but like going out and hanging out for an hour or two in person, like, that's a little bit of a different ball game. You know, you got to be a person that, like, I really admire, and, you know, I try to ask myself the question, would I swap places with this person in life? And if the answer is a resounding hardcore no, I just don't have time for you. Now, I've got time for you in the sense of, like, I'd love to, but, like, in-person communication, hanging out, I don't have time for that. I can't do that. But that's a
That's a good rule.
it's a lonely game, you know, you know, but
Well,
it's a worthwhile game, I think.
that's why I spent a lot of time in the house, but I was in a brand new area and I was just super focused. But have you listened or read the book, The 48
Laws of
Laws of
Power?
Power?
I know a couple of them off the top of my head. I haven't, just because just the damn title of that book overwhelms me. I'm like, dude, I ain't remembering 48. You know what one of my favorite books is? The 4 Agreements. You know why? Because there's 4 things.
No, I can't. I'm not going to remember them all, but
yeah, I know. Like,
I'm not trying to remember them all, but the information in that book is, I first listened to it when I was going through, like, it was last summer, and it was powerful. I was just like, holy cow, I've been messing up. I just realized that I was not leaning into my power. Let's just say that.
It's fair. Well,
like, in some areas I was, but some I was not. And something we were just talking about made me think of it. Something huge. Oh, isolation. Yeah. So I've been listening to it on the drive today. Isolation can be so bad, because he said, you want to be out in the streets and know what's going on. You want to be talking, you want to be listening for what your enemies are saying about you, or know what your enemies are doing, as well as the people that are on your side. You got to know what is up.
That's fair. I don't know.
When you are in isolation, you could come out of isolation, and people, like, he gives you examples. He tells you stories. Like, some guy died. He went into isolation. He was a king. Yeah. He was a king. He died and no one even knew he died. He was in there by himself.
Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I'm fucking sitting in my basement all day. Like, I'm afraid of.
Well, that's what I was kind of doing.
No. I mean, we've all been there to an extent, but no, it's just I have to walk that fine line of, like, I'm going to a networking event on Friday. I'm excited for that. I'm gonna go shake some hands, meet some folks.
those are the kind of places that you'll meet someone.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So I'm looking forward to that. Plus, it's at my cold plunge place. So the people that are going to an event like that, similar, like-minded, you know, a lot of them are kind of hippies a little bit, but nothing wrong with that. Some of them are very, very, very into like their chakras and their vibrations and all that stuff. It's a little out there for me.
Growing out their armpit hair.
Yeah, they got they're braiding their leg hair and stuff. You know, it's, I don't know. Yeah. By the way, we only got 3 minutes and 12 seconds. This is a great, you know, the sign of a great dog cast though is that time flies. That's a sign of a great dog cast. But
so what's going on with your business? I want to know what's going on with your business. What are you doing to are you doing anything different? I swear that you've been talking about. Have you been talking about
I hired a company to help me with my SEO. So we've been getting some more call-ins from that. Thankfully, I've hired my first helper for the pools, Alex, who's a friggin' stud. You know, we're putting out yard signs and post-it notes. We're starting to gain some little bit of traction with referrals and like in talking about that actively with clients. So it's growing. At the end of the day, it's not the pool business is not complex or hardcore. I mean, we fucking clean pools, you know. I mean, it's not super, super hard, but this content stuff, it's like a separate full-time job sometimes, for, you know, doing the shoots with your videographer. Not everyone has a videographer, but like doing the shoots and the editing, and you gotta just posting is a part-time job. You know how hard it is to post to 7 different platforms daily? It's not hard, but it's time consuming. Because I got to edit the caption, I got to tag this, I got to do the location, I got to boom, boom, boom. And if you're doing that if you're posting 4 times a day to 7 different platforms, and that's assuming you're not tweeting or threading or whatever 5 times a day separately, like think about it. That's 7 times, that's 28 posts a day. If you're doing it 4 times, that's it's a lot, you know?
It is a lot.
And then, I don't know, I'm having a blast with it though, you know, and I don't know what stuff's hitting. I don't know what stuff's not really hitting, but I'm pumping. I'm pumping the well.
I'm liking all of your stuff. It's fun. I need a videographer. In fact, I was on, if we get cut off, it's fine, but I was on Craigslist looking for a videographer for here. I was thinking, I got to run around the streets.
Are you in Vegas?
Yeah.
I'll introduce you to Brandy. She did my shooting for when I was when I went to visit Brad's office.
Oh, really? How much does she charge an hour?
I'd have to ask, because it kind of varies. I told her, I'm like, I don't really care about the hourly stuff. I want like a package deal. You know, okay, meet me on this day. Just here's what I'm looking for. Give me a price. And she gave me a price. I don't want to say it out loud, you know. Okay. I don't want to, but no, she charged a fair rate. So if you're looking for a videographer, she does good work. And she's local. She's probably 10-15 minutes away from me right now. So
cool. Okay.
Actually, yeah. And this is gonna die in 30 seconds. But no, I'll shoot you your text info right after this. Less than 20 seconds, Tina Kelly.overfelt. Give the fans at home, they're demanding answers. Give them 20 seconds. Give them a message. Something that's gonna inspire the folks at home. Something that's gonna light them up. 15 seconds.
Believe in yourself. And even if your voice tells you can't, ignore that little bitch and go.
5 seconds. 4. Oh, that's it. That's the whole message. I love it. That's the dog.